Taking people by their appearance is really not a matter of character. It's a genetic problem for humans. When I was young, I thought looks were the most important. But now, as an old person, I find it to be true. This is a quote from Oscar Wilde, and it's also my biggest feeling after reading the ups and downs of psychology. This is not a book exclusively for superficial people. In fact, the content of this book is quite diverse, covering various quirky psychological topics, such as why are women's personal ads best written by men? What is the funniest joke in the world? Why do some people remember things that never happened? Who is luckier, someone born in the summer or in the winter? Basically, psychologists have nothing better to do. The Ups and Downs of Psychology has a chapter specifically discussing the human instinct of judging people by their appearance. Subconsciously, we tend to think that the higher a person's status, the taller they are. In the U.S. presidential election, the winner is perceived to grow half an inch in the public's mind, while the loser is thought to shrink by about an inch. Power is not only the best aphrodisiac, but also the most effective way to grow taller. If two people are both 1.8 meters tall, a governor and a construction worker, we would think the former is taller. University professor and psychologist Paul Wilson conducted a scientific experiment where he asked a scholar to introduce himself as a student to one class, as a lecturer to another, as an associate professor to a third, and as a professor to a fourth. With each increase in title, the student's perception of the scholar's height also increased by an inch. Humans are just that superficial. Thousands of years ago, being with tall people undoubtedly had evolutionary advantages because their body types were very advantageous for gathering food and dealing with enemies. Although height no longer has any physical advantage today, the thoughts formed during evolution are still deeply rooted in our minds. Even today, we still associate taller people with success. This also leads to the fact that shorter people often have a stronger desire for success because they are not satisfied. I am a hobbit myself, particularly competitive. For example, if a colleague is half an hour late, it inspires my fighting spirit, and the next time I might just skip work. If my best friend eats 2 pounds of barbecue, I must eat 3 pounds. How can a foodie lose? What is the standard for determining whether a suspect has committed murder? Their appearance. Through the ups and downs of psychology, specifically explores a serious issue. Is justice blind? Do juries judge people by their appearance? The answer is affirmative. Experiments have shown that with the same case and the same evidence, a jury is more likely to consider the suspect guilty if they look shabby compared to someone who looks sunny. If you say this is just an experiment, then psychologist Jon Stewart spent a lot of time evaluating the attractiveness of the real defendants in court. He found that attractive men receive much lighter sentences in court compared to those who have committed the same crimes but are less attractive. This conclusion is really heartbreaking. Even committing a crime requires competing in appearance. World, can you be any more cruel? Whenever you see an attractive face, we will unconsciously associate it with some positive qualities, such as enthusiasm, honesty, and intelligence. This is our subconscious. Historically, all positive figures have been easily praised for their good look. Even if the actual celebrities are ugly, they are portrayed by beautiful actors when their stories are brought to the screen. At the same time, most Hollywood movies are symbolic, with good people being especially beautiful and bad people being especially shabby, and over time, we have formed a direct classifying impression in our subconscious. Taking people by their appearance is really not a matter of character. It's a genetic problem for humans. Scientific research from the University of Amsterdam in the Netherlands has stated that men liking to look at beautiful women is not morally corrupt, but a conditioned reflex. Men need to quickly judge whether women can provide better genes. The standard for women looking at men is whether he can take care of me and the children. As humans in the 21st century, our way of thinking still remains in primitive society. Men are a superficial association, and women are a financial association, because men focus on who to mate with, and women focus on how to take care of their children after mating. Biological issues, the core of which is a reproductive problem, can all be found in evolutionary psychology. Women usually categorize women into various types such as sweet girls, tomboys, green tea bitches, and mature women, etc. For men, it's not that complicated. Women are just two types, beautiful and ugly. Just like the popular negative chicken soup on the internet says, take a good look in the mirror and you'll understand many things. Women's self-awareness is weak in front of good looks. The so-called progress of history is that now many women can support themselves and their children, so women may be more superficial than men. The difference is that, although women also like handsome men, women allow men to have some bonus points. For example, in Reply 1994, the male lead looks like a loser, really ugly. But after finding out that he is a top student and a doctor, suddenly he seems much more handsome. So, should someone be condemned for being ugly? No, precisely because we are aware of human superficiality and the world's cruelty. Instead of complaining that everyone judges by appearance honestly, even if everyone loves inner beauty. Are you inwardly beautiful? It's better to improve your appearance, learn makeup, learn how to dress, learn how to be cheerful, interesting, confident, and generous. At the very least, you should go from being particularly ugly to being generally ugly. Even many things that are touted as noble and moral are essentially about judging by appearance. For example, animal protection associations, dare I say, are just a branch of the superficial association. Otherwise, why only protect cute cats and dogs, while pigs, cows, cockroaches, and rats, which are a little less attractive, should die? Or the British have fun, becoming the Ugly Animal Protection Association, specifically protecting the ugly freaks. Can I give them my phone number and account? I also need protection.